What's up, guys? Welcome back to Reject Films, back with another episode of Random Reviews. I believe this is episode 5. I'm not really sure. It'll be in the title. Two movies here that I was really looking forward to checking out. Both of them, of course, being sequels, and one being a sequel to a long-running franchise that has been somewhat ruined by previous films, but trying to redeem itself in this one. So, mixed reviews on that one. Heard nothing but good things about this first one I'm going to talk about, and was really excited to check this out. Just trying to find the time to watch a 3-hour film was kind of a task, but I'm glad I finally sat down and watched it. Very happy with the final outcome. But, yeah, before we get into the movies, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. Hit that like button, all that good stuff. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, links are in the description, and, just show some support if you would, please, and let's move on to the movies. So, alright, first one we'll talk about is Doctor Sleep, the long-awaited sequel to The Shining, which is a lot of people's all-time favorite horror movies, and just a very beloved film in general, and yeah. So you got Ewan McGregor and Rebecca Ferguson as the two main characters, plus I forget her name, that plays Abra, being the three main characters of this one. And this got nothing but fantastic reviews across the board from everybody that I've seen do reviews on it and everything. I tried to steer away from most of the reviews. I just kind of look at their final scoring on it. But I did watch a couple, but I try not to do that so I'm not purposely saying anything they've said or anything like that. So I'm going to keep it pretty simple. I was going to read like the synopsis like I normally do, but you see how small the synopsis is on Doctor Sleep? Like really, that's the only thing this movie is about. I'll go ahead and read it for you though. Still scarred by the trauma he endured as a child, at the Overlook Hotel, Dan Torrance faces the ghost of the past when he meets Abra, a courageous teen who desperately needs his help, and possesses a powerful ability called Shine. That's the synopsis you get for a 3-hour movie. That's a little ridiculous. Nothing even more on the inside, still the same synopsis. But go ahead and do like I normally do, show you guys the insides here. Take out the code. Just have a black disc and a kind of bluish looking disc. I kind of can't really explain the color of it, but I do like the color of the Blu-ray there. But pretty basic. The director's cut being only on the Blu-ray, which is the one that I watched. I did skim through the 4K disc as I was going to watch the features. They put the features on the 4K disc this time, and but they were only in 1080p on there. But you do have a couple decent features on here. You have From Shining to Sleep, author Stephen King and director-writer Mike Flanagan look back at the original novel and classic film to discuss how they took on the sequel, making of Doctor Sleep a new vision, and Return to the Overlook. They're all pretty short. They're only like 10 or 15 minute features on here, but still pretty interesting. So it was kind of cool to see him and Stephen King talk about the adaptations of the book. I've always heard that Stephen King really doesn't like Kubrick's take on The Shining, and he didn't say it too much in this interview. He kind of said otherwise during this interview, to me anyways. And so the director of Doctor Sleep was pretty much trying to take of what he really loved about Kubrick's film and what he really loved about King's novelization of The Shining, and took both of those and made his own film from those two combined. And it really did turn out pretty well. Now, I do have a few flaws that I'm going to discuss about this film. So if you guys have not seen this movie, definitely some spoilers ahead, just to forewarn you. I'll try not to spoil too much, but and I'll say like a little bit more emphasis on what the story is about than what this little synopsis gave us. So basically what this movie is Dan Torrance and Abra, I forget her, Abra Stone, kind of battling against, what's her name? Rose the Hat and her band of gypsies, whatever you want to call them, called the True Knot, as they're not immortal, but they do live for a really long time by possessing they say like eating the children, but they're just eating their shine that they have in them. They're feeding off of their fear and things like that. But they find kids who have like extra abilities or something like that, and they breathe in their aura or whatever you want to call it. And it becomes up to Abra and Dan to stop these people from continuing to do this. That's basically what this movie really is. And discovering more about what Abra is able to do. It's not a lot of focus on Dan's abilities until towards the end. He kind of keeps everything he can do hidden. And it does flash back and forth between him as a child and him now. Kind of leaves out like any teenage 20s years and stuff like that, just like child and now. And that's it. So I'm kind of curious what happened to him between, being a kid and being a middle-aged man. But, maybe we'll get that sometime in the future. I don't know. I hope they do another one. And this series continues, even if it's something not based off a Stephen King book. I still feel like they can continue on these stories and everything, or go back to those time frames. But, we'll see. So, my few flaws with this film, nothing major, but I did have an issue with, there's a point in this film where they resort to guns, for taking out the people of the True Knot, and I feel like this movie really isn't a movie where we need weapons like that. Everything should have been done within the mind, and things like that. I don't think bringing firearms into a film like this was necessary, and it just kind of felt out of place to me. Maybe I'm alone in that, and it seems like, these people live for so long, but yet a little nick of a gun, and that's it, they're done. It shows the older character, Grandpa Flick, talking about how he's seen empires rise and fall for thousands of years and all this, so he's lived for such a long time, but yet a blast of a rifle, it just takes him out. And another scene, which I'm not going to spoil everything, how another character is killed. This seems kind of, I don't know. Again, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm alone in that, but let me know what you guys think on that. And my other flaws being, there was a scene in the movie where they were going to go try to trick Rose the Hat and everything like that. And after that, it's brought up to his buddy, what was his name, Billy, Dan asking him if he still has his old hunting rifles. So, and then the next scene, they just have the hunting rifles. When did they go back and get these? Were they in the trunk? Did he have them with him, even though he says he hasn't done this in a really long time? It's been a long time since he's hunted and everything. It's like, just when exactly did you guys get these? And my last flaw with this film is, again, nothing major. I know I had 3, and I'm trying to remember what this last one was. It was so insignificant that I can't even think of what it was. But, the scene where someone is told to kill themselves. Again, I'm trying not to spoil everything, so I'm not going to tell you when this scene takes place and who this person was. That scene felt, and I discussed this with my buddy at work, who's like the only other person I talked to about movies in real life. So we both felt it felt kind of forced and unnecessary, and just kind of thrown in there last minute, and I don't really feel like it fit the movie at all. I mean, I seen it coming, but it just, I don't know. So anyway, those are my only flaws with this film. Other than that, very well acted, very well scripted. The 3-hour director's cut, like I said, is the only version that I've watched. But I did skim through the 4K disc as I was watching the features and everything. and it does look fantastic in 4K, especially on my QLED TV and everything. Looks absolutely fantastic. So I highly recommend this film, guys, if you have not seen it. Again, I'm not going to go too into depth like I normally don't in these reviews, just because I know a lot of people probably haven't seen this yet. It is a newer film. Again, I'm going to try to go back and do some older movies in these random reviews, but I'm trying to keep each movie at about 10 minutes, if that. So, and we're already over that already. So, and the character of, what is it, Snakebite Annie, I think was her name. I don't know. I felt she was a little underutilized, and I believe that was what my buddy brought up as well. You know, for as much emphasis as they put on getting her and tracking her down to join this group, after that she wasn't really utilized much. So, and then you have the character, what is it, the Crow guy, just trying to look like Johnny Depp for whatever fucking reason. I'm not really sure why. What was going on with that? That and the guy from was it What We Do in the Shadows, I think. But overall, guys, solid film. Definitely recommend this one. I do want to go and revisit the theatrical cut, because the director's cut's a half an hour longer, so I'm really curious of what they left out. I don't feel like there's a whole lot they could have left out, besides maybe some of the driving scenes and things like that, but yeah, really enjoyed the end of it, going back to the hotel and everything, and watching the features. They really got a kick out of all of the set designs, bringing back to the original Shining and everything. And it did feel like, I don't know, I felt like a kid again watching The Shining for the first time in certain parts of watching this, and it was just really cool to see. But oh, and my other complaint was the person they got to play Jack Nicholson did not look anything like Nicholson. The other characters matched up really well. The replacement they had for Scatman Crothers did a fantastic job. Even the guy that was getting in The Shining, that you see briefly in this, great job on that. Grady, all of them, you know, fantastic actors playing the people from the original film and looking just like them. The person taking, yeah, I can't think for whatever reason. What's her name? I'm trying to think of the actress's name. Shelley Duvall, the person that took her place, you know, looks just like her, with even the overbite and everything like that she had. Yeah, again, fantastic movie. Love the cast. Rebecca Ferguson looks absolutely amazing in this film. Just beautiful. So anyway, yeah, Doctor Sleep. Highly recommend this one. Don't stream it. Don't rent it. Buy this fucking movie and watch the director's cut. I can't recommend it enough, even with those flaws. All right. Moving on to one that I was really iffy about. I heard mixed reviews on this. Some people really liked it. Some people just absolutely hated it. It only got like a 6.5 or something like that on IMDb. I can't remember. Didn't make any money at the box office compared to what they put into it, at least. And this will probably be the last Terminator film. And that is Terminator Dark Fate. You got Arnold back. You got Linda Hamilton back. So that was really cool. And then you have other characters in here who I honestly just didn't give a shit about. The new Nemesis in here, I don't think had a very strong screen presence whatsoever. I mean, he was fast and agile, I guess, but wasn't really threatening in this one, like in T2, having, who was it, Robert Stack or whoever the fuck it was, playing in that one. Is that even right? I don't think so. Anyway, so, and you have Arnold in this very late in the movie, not much screen time whatsoever, but, you know, Linda Hamilton was definitely the main star of this one, along with, what's her name? And then, yeah, Mackenzie Davis. Her and Mackenzie Davis definitely the main characters of this one, and the other chick. So it was kind of like an all-girl Terminator for 90% of the fucking movie, which I'm fine with. The action was really good. The story was still not great. Definitely better than Genesis. I still like the first two and Salvation the best. I know I'm probably alone in the Salvation thing here, but I just really liked the setting and the atmosphere of Salvation. I don't know why. Maybe it was the time that I watched it the first time or something. If I watch it again now, maybe not so much, but I just have a fondness for that film. I'm not really sure what it is. But anyway, so I'm not even going to go into detail on this one because honestly, I still don't even know what the fuck's going on in the Terminator timeline. Somebody wants to explain to me exactly what is going on, that would be great. Definitely not as confusing as Genesis. That's just a mess of a movie. This is from Tim Miller, who directed Deadpool, and he had James Cameron back as a producer, and you can kind of tell, his influence in here as well. And I mean, this is only Tim Miller's second really feature film time directing, so, that being said, he definitely did a really good job directing this one. I just feel like the story is it's just not there. It's just not great whatsoever. Again, I could be alone in that. I don't think I am, considering what the critics score and the audience score has been on this film. But the 4K looked really good. Let's go ahead and read the synopsis here. Decades after Sarah Connor, played by Linda Hamilton, prevented Judgment Day, a lethal new Terminator is sent to eliminate the future leader of the Resistance. In a fight to save mankind, battle-hardened Sarah Connor teams up with an unexpected ally. It says ally on here, I do believe. Anyway, Arnold, played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, and an enhanced super soldier to stop the deadliest Terminator yet, with the fate of humanity hanging in the balance. The best of the best is back in this action-packed thrill ride from Tim Miller, director of Deadpool, and producer James Cameron. I do have some good features in here. I have not finished them yet. I started watching them last night, but do have deleted and extended scenes, in-depth behind-the-scenes featurettes, over an hour of bonus content altogether. I did watch about probably half an hour of it. Mackenzie Davis was really good in this, like I said. Definitely a good heroine, or whatever you want to call her. And I just felt like this guy here, I'll try to throw some pictures up here, was not a, match, I guess, for somebody with the presence of Arnold or something. Even compared to Linda Hamilton, he just looks like a fucking pussy. Again, I know they were going for the speed and agility of this guy and the technology that this new Terminator was bringing more than this presence physically, but I don't know. You didn't feel threatened by this thing. I didn't anyways. But anyway, I did like the shifting in and out of the endoskeleton of the new Terminator, how you can just kind of leave that and you can go do other things. I thought that was a pretty cool new concept, and then there was kind of two of them at times. But overall, this one just kind of fell flat for me as well. I mean, you got the first two. That's all you really need. Like I said, I still like Salvation for whatever reason. 3, I can't stand, and Genesis is just, no, that's just not happening. Of course, you had, yeah. So what do you have? 1, 2, 3, Salvation, Genesis. So this is number 6 in the series. I just don't feel like this is a series that needs to continue on. It needs to just be done, and fortunately for us, it probably is with what it made. We might see some Netflix or Hulu continuations or something, but I don't see this really being another big budget Terminator film coming to the big screen, at least anytime soon. Again, it's hard for me to explain exactly the story of this movie because I don't know exactly what was going on. I know Mackenzie Davis's character was leading the new Resistance, the Legion or whatever it was called, and she's from the future, and she's sent back pretty much to protect the new chick in here. I can't even remember her name because that's how much I really cared, but to protect her so that her child being born in the future will eventually save the world. We do have an appearance from John Connor in here for a brief second. So, spoilers ahead. The Arnold comes, Ben kills John Connor. This is supposed to be like a direct sequel to Terminator 2, by the way. So, with that being said, I guess he goes through all this trouble to save John Connor and then kills John Connor. And, of course, Linda Hamilton has this grudge against him during the whole movie, but yet they're still working together. And, yeah, I just, like, what? Why? I don't know. So his mission was over after that point, after killing John Connor. He resides in this cabin in the woods for like, I don't know, 20, 30 fucking years. And he starts becoming more and more human and starting to have feelings. He's kind of got this little family going and everything. And he pretty much tells them bye whenever he goes to help Sarah Connor and Mackenzie Davis's character. Again, I don't even remember the names because I don't care enough. It's just, it's there. It's cool to look at. It's cool to watch. I had fun with it because it was bright and shiny things and action going on. But other than that, it's one I would definitely just rent first. And if you guys really like it, then go and buy it. Again, the 4K looks really amazing. So if nothing else, it's eye candy. But not a very high recommendation on this one, guys. I do want to finish watching the features on it, though. I mean, after watching some of the features, I do get a little bit more of a perspective of the film and what they were trying to do, and a little bit more appreciation for it. And it was cool how it started out with some of the scenes from, like, Terminator 2, like Sarah Connor, you know, what she was like back then and everything. And I did like the opening of it, but overall, just rent, stream it first, see what you think. So that's going to do it for this episode of Random Reviews, guys. Up next, I will probably be watching at least maybe Ford versus Ferrari and something else. I don't know. If you guys have any requests for random reviews, definitely let me know. Try to keep it nothing from boutique labels or anything like that. It can be older films, newer films. Just make sure it's something easily accessible so I can catch it on like Tubi, Hulu, whatever. I do not have Netflix anymore, or something easy to purchase and doesn't cost a fortune. So if it's something I don't have in my collection, I will go ahead and grab it if it's within a decent price range. So anything you guys have to request, definitely let me know, and I will be happy to get to those. So until next time, guys, peace, love, happiness to all y'all, and bye.